Welcome back to the Same Page Book Club. You're reading with Fran, Rhea, Kelly, and Gia. We have the whole squad back together.
Yay.
We missed you, Kelly.
Yes, thank you. I was devastated not to scream and yell about how wrong we were at the end of the last book.
And the three of us were like, you know
apologize.
what? Kelly definitely probably had some thoughts about the end
Big time.
of this.
Yeah, I sure did. But now weeks have gone by and I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
So
That's how
Right,
this works.
now
That's how
it's
it
out,
goes.
out of your head and on to the next.
exactly.
That's really always how it goes. But we all just started reading Yesteryear. Very current, very trendy right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people are reading it. It was I have the hardcover because it was my book of the month book in
Reese?
No, book of the month is like a subscription.
Yeah.
Like you can join it
Oh.
and they give you 5 book options each month and then
Oh.
you pick one and they send it to you as like a flat yearly fee.
Oh, I love that.
April
fun.
was
Most
this
of my
one.
books are because of book of the month. Like if I have so many
Yeah, I have a
hardcover
bunch.
books for that same
I have a
reason.
bunch.
Yeah.
But I've been like, I don't know, I've been kind of reading other ones and I haven't been as interested in the ones that I've been getting. But this was the first one I was like, ooh, this looks very, very interesting. And I think a lot of people have jumped on this as well because the whole social media trad wife
Yeah. Yeah.
idea is very topical right now. There's a lot to discuss, but we read part 1, well, our own part 1
Yeah.
of Yesteryear because there is technically a part 1, but it's like the first
First like
10
3
pages. Yeah. So we read up to chapter 29 or through 29. There's not too much happening in the chunk where I was like, if you missed a chapter or you went ahead a chapter, we're kind of in the same conversation right now. But what are our initial first thoughts about the first half? Rhea, you want to go first?
Sure. I mean, I find it incredibly interesting. I was hooked right from the beginning. I think you're right that it is so topical, and I think that kind of like pulls you in. And I felt a little bit kind of like cliche that I was super interested because it was about social media, and I was like, oh, why am I like,
No,
am
that's
I
your
so
life.
interested in this? But I just thought it was a completely interesting and original take on, you know, what's going on, because it kind of does beg the question of like, what if we were thrown back into another year, you know?
Yeah.
It'd be horrifying.
Right.
Right, everybody's like, yeah,
The worst thing
they
ever.
yearn for that lifestyle, but do they really?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. I'm really enjoying it so far. I think, you know, it's not the most positive and uplifting,
No.
obviously, but there is so much that goes on behind the scenes, and I think it kind of shows you like, I guess like it's the social media conversation of like people who curate a perfect life online, but like then you see what is actually going on or what it took for her to get there, especially in the beginning with when she's going to Target and everything. And I felt like you could just visualize it so well. And I don't know if you had people in your head that you were visualizing, but like our own social media influencers that we watch, I'm
Totally,
like
yeah.
picturing them in this.
Ballerina
I was
forms.
going to
Yes.
say, are we not going to say it?
Yeah,
Ballerina
yeah,
Fire, it's
exactly.
happening. That's
So I'm
exactly
like-
who I'm picturing this
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
time.
So I also like Nara Smith at times
Yes.
because
Right,
of all the
totally,
kids
yeah.
and
Yeah.
just
Totally.
like all of that. So I am really enjoying it so far, but I will say like I didn't fly through the beginning. I mean, I flew through the very beginning,
Yeah.
I will say, like really, really fast. And then I want to say chapters like the middle, like kind of like 10 to 20 or whatnot.
Yeah.
Like a lot of back and forth, and we're getting a lot of information about her life, which is needed.
Yes.
But
Yeah, it's her backstory.
yeah, so but I am definitely interested in enjoying it so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm loving it a lot more than I thought I was going to. I am too fascinated by this type of life that people are living, and I think because we work in social media, like, you know that it's mostly bullshit, and I like that they're kind of showing that side of it, basically what you just said. But I had a little bit of an opposite where the first 10 chapters for me were like, oh my God. Like I was having a hard time and I was like, I'm not sure if I'm going to like this. And then it kind of flipped for me where I was like, wait, now I need to know what happens here.
Yeah.
And I think like the bits of info that we're getting, like the flashbacks to the time spent with the in-laws and kind of unpacking their family dynamic, and then understanding the difference in their intelligence. That was a big. I was like, oh wow, he's like a nepo kid that got into Harvard. Like this is you know?
that was one line that really stuck with me too. That was like, that's when I realized that, you know, money or your riches like doesn't equal intellect.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I could see how someone seemingly as impressionable as Natalie would like go to college, and you know her issues in the beginning with like the sex and drugs and rock and roll of it all. Like I worried that would kind of stunt her and put her in this situation, and it kind of did. But what really made me like, oh fuck, we're not messing around, was when she hurt her, when she got her foot stuck or whatever in that trap, and like she starts getting a fever, infection, whatever. All I kept thinking about was how unsanitary everything probably was. And from that point I was like, I have to see if these people live. I need to know. Because I don't know.
No, I'm in the same boat as you guys, loving it. And I really want to compliment Caro Claire Burke because she is a fabulous writer. Wow, like everything
really
is
crushing.
so
good.
detailed.
It is very well written.
And so well written, and like the way that she makes this character like so unlikable is so interesting to me, because like even though she's such a pain in the ass, I find myself like wanting to kind of get to know her more and wanting to like understand why she is the way that she is more. And one part that really stood out to me was when she runs into Reena, and she's pregnant and had just got married, and she like reads Reena to filth about like the future of her life, but everything she does is like a projection, you know, like she's projecting this life onto Reena that she may or may not live, because like she wants to accept her own future, and you know, she wants Reena to think that she has it all together and her life is perfect, but meanwhile her husband can't get it up. Her in-laws suck. She can't talk to her mom about anything. She can't talk to her sister. Another scene that I thought was so interesting and just like really captured me was the scene with when she's like going through it with her pregnancy, and her sister like tries to be like, hey, are you okay? And she just flips on her sister and is like, I'm fine, blah, blah, blah. Like
I was so
the
sad
way
to
that they
see
have
that.
to carry all of this guilt and grief and depression, and then just like, you know, take a pill and suck it up is just, it's a whole different life that, you know, I just could never understand or live. So I think that's why it's so interesting.
I'm with you that I think that this is the most well-written book that we've read
Yes,
yet.
100%.
I
As
agree
soon
too.
as I started reading it, I was like, oh wow, this is some really beautiful writing.
Yeah.
And with you in the fact that such an unlikable character, you're like, oh my God, I cannot stand
She's
her.
such a bitch.
Really, but at the
really
same
is.
time, you're right. Like there is a reason, even in our real life, why people act the way they do or think the way they do, and then they can learn from it and change. And I think we're gonna kind of see that here, where it's like there's a reason like people do the things that they do.
That's why it's so interesting having her be this narrator as well, because you hear the really like
the inner
cunty
monologue.
things she says to
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
and then you hear clearly all like the inner turmoil that she has, and like putting out, oh, I'm this amazing mom and all these things, but then it goes through her birth story of having their first daughter, and like she's like not feeling this baby, and
I
like
appreciated
basically like
that
it
detail.
thought that her baby
Real
was
and
evil.
so like raw,
The evil
like she
feeling.
was like God, like that's not my baby. Like there's clearly she's and she's gone through such different stages of motherhood that it is really interesting, I think, with like this, with her own stages of her life that seem really comparable in the sense that like newborn, it was like this is, I don't know, she doesn't look like me, this is my baby, this whole thing, like creeped out by her baby basically.
Yeah, evil baby.
And then sort of like that sweet toddler age of mama and like the little girls and the way Maeve is with her, that she enjoys that aspect. But then the Clementine Mary side, like she's like, well, who's this like bitchy teenager like
Right.
coming at me like bossy pants, like not feeling connected to her, which I thought was all very interesting.
I laughed and I almost took a picture of the one bit where it said cunt, period. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I was always like, sorry, Lord.
Sorry,
yeah,
God.
yeah. The inner monologue is just
Throw one up
so
there.
funny. She
Yes.
fucking cunt. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
The Clementine Mary thing is interesting, especially seeing the flashbacks of the time before the farm.
Yeah.
Because there was one closer to the end of what we were reading where they flash back to what is, I guess, they're on. I don't know. They're on the campaign trail of some sort for Doug, and she says to Clementine, like, "Oh, Grandpa's trying to be electable. Can you say electable?" And then she like says it, but she's like, she said it in a way that sounded bored or whatever.
Right.
And then there was another thing she said about how like. One of the reasons she wanted more kids, not only because of the agreement she has, but because she thinks that it would take the pressure off of both of them being like the only person giving attention to another. Like Clementine seems maybe like she wants to be more independent from her mother, and her mother would like to split her attention elsewhere and like not only have to focus on Clementine. And thinking about Mary of it all, very independent and very whatever. Like I don't know. I wonder if there's that kind of maybe Clementine's just an independent girl.
Yeah, and it really is an interesting viewpoint of like, while yes, you are seeing this woman's life on social media and like this world she is portraying of doing these old school things and the real kitchen being hidden in the pantry and like all these things, but then every single backstory, it like comes back to wanting money and power in some way.
Yeah.
Like it's not like,
say-
you're not trying to live that quaint, quiet farm life, because it's like at the same time, she's trying to, like, she makes this agreement with her father-in-law to get the money.
Yeah.
Because she wants the money, because she needs like, and
She needs-
striving to
what's his
have the
face to
money.
get
And
a
now
job.
she, right.
Yeah,
And now
she's
she
building
wants
a biz.
Caleb to like be his own politician, and how that would fund their whole family. And there's just like, it's just so everything's so messy behind the scenes.
I feel like it's very calculated. I did say, I said, admiring Natalie as a businessthing, no choice but to stand. Like, I feel like she's like, we don't, obviously she like is bitchy and whatever, but at the same time, like whatever day that they made that agreement where she was like, all right, this is where I'm going to put all of my energy. She put her whole energy in there. And I appreciate that she kind of had that gumption within her, despite being raised as someone who's supposed to be taking a back seat. She was like, no, like above being a housewife is keeping up appearances, and we've got to make it.
She doesn't realize like how much of an feminist she actually is.
Big time, right? Yeah, totally.
And every time she kind of has this like, come to Jesus moment, literally, but like every time she kind of starts to realize like her role that she plays almost in like the life that she's living and how she's really unhappy and all these things, like she has this moment of like realization, but then she always thinks that she's like having like a revelation with God. And that it's God telling her like that you need to like get your life together, whatever. But it's like, no, I think that's just like your own realization that you like need to get out. But she's like almost using religion as like a justification for like staying in the relationship. And also like, her mom is super, they're like, the sister brings up getting divorced and the mom has a freaking conniption. And like, I feel so bad for the sister. Oh my God.
Oh my God, back to that part where she was like really trying to reach out and be like, hey, isn't it horrible?
Or her sister
I
was
thought for
saying
a
she wanted to get
second-
divorced, and they were like, you can't get divorced.
Yeah.
And she's like, and then like, Natalie like rags on her. She's like, oh, and does he hit you? Like, I bet he hits you too. Like all this crazy stuff. Like I felt so bad for the sister. I have a bad feeling about the future of, I think her name's Abigail, the sister, Natalie's sister.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like the religion aspect of it all is just also so interesting too, because
Very
it's
much.
like, it's so, it's justifying a lot of bad behavior in a way. And also every time she like talks shit or curses or anything, like she always like says sorry, but she doesn't actually practice what she preaches,
Yeah.
Right. It's,
Yeah.
she's,
yeah.
she's
does it
always
again.
asking for forgiveness.
Yeah.
And
that's why it's so interesting also where we're kind of finished off in the first half of the book that we read, that in the 1800s world that she's in, she seems to have had like because at first it's interesting what her thought process was. That at first went, oh my God, like I'm on some sort of reality TV show, like there's I'm on some secret
I
camera
would've thought
show.
the same.
Yeah.
Like, I'm being punked right, now.
And
Like,
then,
this is crazy.
But then she comes around and now is like, I don't know what this is, but God is testing me, and like now I need to like prove myself to God that I can get through this, or show him that I can live this life, all these things. So it's like that's interesting to me now that she's stuck in this role, but she's like now it's the question of, is this like some big test from God that she's getting?
It is really interesting, and obviously not all people like act this way or believe this way, but they're, like you said, using religion to like justify, which is so horrible when people do that, because I feel like a lot of like in this, it's like, if God forgives me for like me saying this, then that's okay. Like I can just,
only
like,
God can judge me.
Only God can judge me. Only God can forgive me. So like that's how you get away with doing bad things, when really you're using that as like a guard, which is not good.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's not very holy.
Yeah,
not very godly at all.
So what did you guys think of just in general the character's choice to go to Harvard? Because I thought that was so like kind of out of left field to me, just from the way she talked about her childhood and the life that she was living and where she was. It didn't feel like she necessarily had, like, that was such a big jump to me of like, oh yes, maybe I want to go out and live in a city and see this different way of life. But like Harvard was such a massive jump in one direction, I thought.
Totally.
Well, I think she was just so, sorry, what's the term?
Jaded?
No, like, oh my God, it's like blanket. Like you live in a bubble. Like
Shielded.
She's so shielded. She lives in such a bubble that like
Ignorant?
ignorant. That she doesn't
realize.
Like she thinks, oh, I'm gonna go to this college, whatever. I'm sure I'll find people like me. Like I'm sure that like I'll be able to adjust, whatever. Like I don't think she has had any inkling of any idea that, especially university, college, like there's all walks of life, and you know most people in an East Coast college have like a very, you know, not liberal, but like wild,
a little bit,
teenager year, like progressive lifestyle.
Yeah,
I guess
I mean, I don't think you're going to find a lot of kids, like they were saying she was arguing in class about like traditional gender roles. Like you're not going to get a lot of that like normally in like,
especially in
East
Harvard,
Coast,
like East Coast, in, you know.
Well, I bet it is just kind of in itself antiquated to think that an Ivy League school would be like this upstanding institution, and it's the same as it's always been. And I'm sure someone like her and her family growing up, it's like, well, Harvard, people have respect for Harvard, so it must be a respectful place.
Right.
And
I wanted her to go into more detail of like why Harvard.
Yeah.
Because it was just kind of like,
maybe they
and
will.
then I'm going to Harvard.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, but like why, of all the places you could go, like what made you
like why didn't you go to BYU?
Strive to go to Harvard, because you know, not exactly like anybody can just go to Harvard.
Yeah,
But
I
we
think
also
she like
see
wanted a new perspective, but like when she got the new perspective, she was like, "Wait a second, this is not what I like."
Or maybe like the aspect of what Kelly wrote down, like she is a good businesswoman. Like maybe she just knew that Harvard was like seen as like the great. So it's like, oh well, if I go there, then I can be.
Then I'll be
great.
respected too. I wonder too, because clearly this family is riddled with daddy issues. That's another topic we're not even discussing it yet. But I think the idea has kind of burrowed its way in, not only to the girls. Well, maybe the sister needs a little more help, but the mom too. I think it's like they know that they have to like find a man and like do whatever. But I kind of think deep down it's like protect yourself, because her mom did whatever she could to like protect herself and the girls. And now Natalie's going to school, and it's like, all right, well, you're smart enough to go someplace like this. So if you need to pivot away from this traditional life that we're trying to instill, like there are people in the world that live a life not like that. So, and I'm sure her mother knows people that don't live like that. So it's like worst case scenario, you're smart enough to make something of yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
She even said like, my mom is so traditional, but like, I forget how she worded it, but she was like, my mom is so traditional, but she like doesn't even realize that she's kind of like the man of the house. Like,
totally.
Like
I
she like
think it's just
takes
kind
on
of
both
ingrained.
roles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even though she wants this like very traditional life for her daughters, she said something about like how her mom always would like, you know, prioritize her career and things of that nature, like without even kind of realizing that she is more of like progressive than she even realizes. Maybe you know.
I just opened up Fable to check out what some people were saying, because I did see this critique with this book specifically, is that people were like, oh, you know, it's kind of hard for me to get into because she's so unlikable. And it's like, but I think that's
That's
you know,
why I
that's,
like
that's,
it. I like
yeah,
That's
yeah.
why it ropes in. It reminds me
Yeah.
of like TV shows like Succession, where they were all so fucking hateable,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
made you want to keep watching
Yeah.
because you were like,
Yeah.
it's like hate watching.
Yeah.
I
Totally.
love this.
Yeah, I'm like still rooting for these idiots. Like,
Right,
yeah,
right. You want
they're all
to
done.
you just really want to see what happens. Someone wrote the quote from part 1 that was, "Thank you for watching over the farm animals, Lord, and thank you for helping us pass 5 million on Instagram this week. We're only a few souls away from 1 million on YouTube, Lord."
Yeah, that's so funny. And how she calls
hilarious.
like her commenters angry women.
Oh my God,
that was
yeah.
so funny. I'm like,
Incredible.
that's so
the
like
angry women don't
Yeah,
like to see
yeah,
us.
She was
yeah.
like,
It's like,
and
of
then she was like,
course.
my first angry woman.
Yeah.
Was,
Yeah.
Yep.
But even those conversations are she has a hold on like what's going on. Like she says like, oh, the angry women, like, and then she talks about society as a whole, and it's like all they want to do is like be served up, like women get served up on a platter to be torn down when she's talking about like reality TV and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's for her to have that awareness, but then to also still be stuck in this whatever. Like I kind of think that deep down she knows that this is all a farce, and she just has to make
100%.
sure, right? Like
she has to put on
yeah.
a
Like, I
front
don't
and
think
she
she
knows
believes
that.
any of
fighting
it.
it hard.
She
Yeah.
hates
She hates
Caleb.
it. She's too smart.
She hates
Yeah.
her kids.
Yeah.
I mean, Caleb is like, oh God, he's awful. And then he
worst.
starts
Oh.
talking about the manosphere. That's was the part where I was like, this
Oh,
is so
yeah.
realistic. He
Yeah,
starts talking
yeah.
about the manosphere.
Yeah, being on the
and being on the
Reddits
online
and-
forums
yep,
and how,
yep.
About
how
the schools.
how schools are like teaching that like, gender is a construct and
Yep,
all that
yep,
thing. And she's like, are you sure schools are teaching that? He's like, yeah, like I'm telling you, you need to homeschool her, like whatever. He is just
I love how she
But I
talks
think
to
that's
them.
also kind of why and
aloof idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this someone wrote the question, why in the world is old Caleb better at sex and what is even going on in this book, SOS, which made me laugh. But it's funny when talking about like Caleb versus old Caleb, because I do think Caleb, I don't know if it's on purpose,
Yeah.
but it's like Caleb is like such a weenie.
Yes.
And then like
He wants to be a
and then just-
kindergarten teacher. She
Yeah.
like almost threw up in her mouth.
and then
I was like, you went to Harvard.
right and like has no ambition and all these things, and in parallel like cannot seemingly they do not have good chemistry, sexual chemistry.
No.
Not,
She at
she's
one
always
point- she
talking
at one
about his
point said
soft
that
dick.
His dick was about 50% as inflated as I expected.
Yeah,
Oh
which
my
is
God.
just right. And then like when
tough.
we there's a scene of her sleeping with old Caleb, and like boy, she's describing how hard that thing
Yeah.
is. So it's like, but like old Caleb really does work on the farm, really does do everything all day.
He's a
And
man.
while
His hands
granted
are
he
calloused.
is
He
hitting her,
he hit her in the face.
hitting her.
Yeah.
1800s
But
though,
they're
you know.
like there's it's
like-
just a crazy.
that's what that was
You know
what
what I'm
would
saying?
happen.
I thought it
Yeah.
was. I kind of thought like that was done purposely. That this guy in his own little
Totally.
bul is
Yeah.
like whatever.
Yeah.
And then she's
Well,
then
that's the
she seemed like
realistic
getting her-
life. That's
yeah.
the life that she thinks that she wants. She
Yeah,
wants
her
this
first
this
orgasm.
traditional lifestyle. Well, okay, the traditional lifestyle is you open your legs to your husband when he wants, and then he slaps you in the face like when you disobey. Like she doesn't realize that she doesn't actually want what she thinks she wants. She wants the appliances to be hidden, and she wants her husband to be in the corner doing nothing
of the
so that
way.
she can
Yeah.
run everything and make
Yeah.
sure that she's
Can
doing
I just
everything.
say that like this is now like the third book where I've brought up like if Kelly Case was the main character, but I'm saying like
I
if-
love being the main character
If
in all of
Kelly ended up in this position, the inner monologue of Natalie is Kelly like fuck these kids.
Yes.
This is not what I wanted. Like literally like
100%.
like what Natalie wants is to be Kelly. Like
Yes.
you know what
For
I mean?
sure,
Like
for sure.
free.
Deep down
like
is the
just
thing
like
she wants. Yeah.
for you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she wants to be living that free life, and this was what would happen if you'd be like, I fucking hate these evil bitches.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'd give birth. I'd be like, well, that's an evil baby. Get it out of here. Like, what the fuck are we
Yeah,
doing?
she's like she
Let's
has
try again.
soulless eyes. Like
Yeah.
please.
I
Which
know.
like
And
that,
then she
that
turkey-
was sad though because of like the
So
'cause of the
sad.
very clear immediate postpartum. The mom being like,
Yeah.
oh, go take a jog. Like,
Oh my
whatever.
god, that was crazy. She like
Crazy.
gives,
I also-
he like buys her brand new running shoes.
I would have hit him in the face. Like
Oh
that
my
would have been my
God.
time to be
Oh
to give,
my
give
Mom
out
also
a
just
slap.
like just being like her husband's dead even though he just left her.
Yeah, which is great. I
Like,
do
it's
love that
the
level of
daddy
delusion.
issues.
When
Yeah.
he passed, and like
Yeah.
just the complete.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate that Natalie never she doesn't let herself get lost in her mom's own like personal gaslighting to herself. Like she's like, damn, she really does believe that he's dead now. Like it's enough time has passed or whatever. But
and
yeah,
she
I don't know.
she doesn't really have like I don't know any sort of parental figure where she can like actually talk to and
Right.
confess.
I mean, her mother-in-law is a hot mess.
Her mother-in-law
Oh, yeah, I
is
feel bad for her, too.
one drink off
Yeah.
into the
Yep.
deep end. I
She's
think.
got those pills.
Yeah,
She's crushing them up
She's
with her
got
pudding.
some sort of
why
cocktail.
waste all that pudding, girl? Just
Yeah.
swallow those
obsessed
pills.
with pudding. She
Yeah.
Well, she's trying to be. She's like pretending like I'm not taking all these pills. Just pop it in the corner. No one's
and
looking.
you know, Doug is too focused on his presidential campaign, and then the part where she's talking about how Caleb's siblings like don't even vacation with them. Like she
That was
found out that
crazy.
they all went somewhere without them. Like nobody likes Caleb. It seems like so
Yeah.
ipso facto nobody likes her, and then like the in-laws just seem like they're stuck with them, and they no one's getting along with each other because she wants to like present again. She just keeps wanting to present this image that she just cannot withhold because all of the things around her are not cooperating the way that she wants it to.
It's like she can't control. Like so many things are out of her control. When in reality, she thought that everything would just
Yes.
kind of fall into place,
Yes.
and now she can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
And
is she
it's-
gonna do?
You know what? I was also thinking too is like she's so detailed on sort of like the lack of her sex life with Caleb, but it seemed that the young producer that quits
Shannon.
was sleeping with Shannon.
Right.
I was
forgot
writing
about
down that
that.
Caleb was gay until that point. I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
yeah,
he must
that
be
kind
gay.
of threw me for a loop.
Right.
Yeah.
It was
I
like,
was like,
yeah.
Shannon is sleeping with Caleb.
Right. So like I'm sure that'll come back in some way.
Well, I
but-
just don't even know if Caleb even liked her to begin with. Like, I think he just liked the idea of her, and
Right.
I think
Yeah.
she just liked the idea of him.
Right.
I mean, when
And
they
they
got
talked
married,
about
she
that they
was
hadn't
like,
even talked.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
like, "What did like after they got married?" She was like, "What did we even talk about?" And I think
Yeah,
a
she's
big
like, he's dumb. I've realized that he's dumb.
yeah,
Yeah.
like a big
Yeah.
signal for that was when they were like on a date, and she was like, "Oh, I'd like to live on a farm," like blah blah, and he was like, "I'd like that too."
Yeah.
like he
Crazy
just
shit,
He
yeah.
had no
doesn't
idea what he
have-
wanted.
yeah,
I think he
yeah.
was just gonna get like
And I think with Shannon, maybe like
Yes.
she's young and
Yeah.
whatever, and
Yeah.
like not anyone that's not his wife. Clearly,
She's probably also a modern
yeah.
woman. Like
and
I
that
feel
was
like
kind of perfect for Natalie
Yeah.
though, for Caleb to just kind of be like that guy, to be like, yeah, I like that too. Like
yeah,
let me just fall
yeah.
into place
yeah,
of
and
whatever
she needs
you
kind of like
want.
a yes man
Yeah.
because she's so
Caleb-
I want this, and that.
Caleb to me is like soy boy stuff, and I feel like he's right. He's like not meant for the working world.
Yeah.
And it seems like he could do well with the farm itself, but he has that arrogance that only comes with being raised without the struggle of money or
well,
having
like,
to figure
he
your
bought
life
a
out.
cow, and then
Yeah,
the
so he's just
freaking
doing
cow
this
died
died like 2
dies.
days later.
He just is like, I can figure it out, but it's like you have to humble yourself to realize that
Yeah.
these are not your trades. You haven't learned these
Just
things
because
yet.
you read one Reddit forum
Yeah.
does not mean that you can take care of a fucking farm,
I
Caleb.
thought it was funny how he had to leave like the farmers Reddit and go to like the DIY farmers Reddit because the farmers were
because
like,
all the farmers
"The
were like,
fuck
dude,
is
you can't
what are you
do
doing?"
this. Yeah, like it's just so insane.
Yeah.
And how about the part where she
Idiot.
turkey based herself?
Oh my
Like,
God.
With his cum.
That's so
That was
crazy.
wild.
Oh man,
I
this
said,
is
wow,
not
that
the
guy
life
had that
she
turkey
expected.
I'm
based.
like, damn, didn't they teach us that like that didn't really work? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought that once it hits the air,
Yeah,
that's what I was like, all these
know.
things. They were like,
I thought
yeah,
that too.
well,
I know,
Unless
it's
you're in a
like-
hot tub
I was
or
like,
whatever.
yeah. This is
something's
not
in
the-
there.
yeah.
Something's
to me.
afoot.
I was just like,
I
this
thought
is
that
not the
once it
life
hit
that
the
she
air,
wanted.
you know.
I thought
Yeah.
so too. I thought so too about the air.
That was not the life that she signed up for, clearly. And
We need to know how much.
Yikes.
How
And then
long?
they-
much
you know, they end up-
time?
they
how
end
long
up-
is it alive? Airborne. That's what I need to.
I thought it died immediately.
So did I, and
well,
we gotta maybe
obviously, you know, there's like
reevaluate.
sperm banks and stuff, so they have a way to do that where like they keep it
It's probably
Yeah.
something about the temperature.
something. Yeah.
yeah, and clearly she had
above
to
our
keep
pay
doing
grade.
it because they had 4 kids by the time she switches to the
Yeah.
1800s. Also
Yeah.
about the 1800s. Very curious to why that happened and if we're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
figure
very
out.
nice.
I thought I missed something.
yeah,
I
question.
kept going back, being
Yeah,
like,
right.
what
It's
is
like-
this?
I've kept pretty quiet about
Yeah,
that.
me
Yeah.
too. I was saving
think
that as
so
my
too.
last. I was saving that as my last question
Yeah.
of like, so what do you think happened to her?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how do you think she got here,
I
or
think-
like she hit her head?
I
Is
think
she
they're gonna
imagining it
At
reveal
all?
what point
that.
did you?
She
They
found
said
some
time
microphone.
machine, but did you see where there was like this is the time machine when they were talking about the toilets? Do you guys remember that part in the very like beginning when they're like she's showing? I forget with the toilets, and they're like, "This is the time machine," and it just moves along.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I totally missed that.
The toilet
that-
is a time machine.
No, so
Were they referring to it as a time machine?
I
Like,
didn't.
colloquially?
No, I
Like,
didn't know.
It's like a time machine. It's so old.
I
you know?
don't know.
I
That's
totally
why
missed
I'm
this.
going back to that. And then it was. I'm gonna find it. It was italicized. It was like, this is the time machine.
Oh my God! While I was
But
listening,
no, I could totally be. I'm gonna have to.
No, that
fine,
sounds
but
like that sounds like a red
Yeah.
herring.
She
You
finds
can. I think you can Control F on that bad boy.
Word
can I?
Somewhere. Word
yeah,
search.
she
Yeah.
finds
Oh, yes, you
a
can.
microphone in the ground.
Yes, the
Yeah,
microphone.
or like
holds
a
on
piece
to
of
it.
one though.
Yeah.
Like
She
it's
goes-
like it's like a piece of plastic.
She says, which like there wouldn't be
there'd
plastic.
be no plastic
So
there.
that in itself is.
Oh, okay. I thought she
It is.
said
It's a
like
piece of a microphone,
okay,
but it's like the plastic
piece.
bit
Yeah,
on
she
the
was
bottom.
like,
Yeah,
she's like, I know
because that's
that
what
this
makes her start to
is-
think that it's
yeah.
a reality
Yes.
TV show, and she's like, well, like,
Oh, okay. Yes, right here.
Oh my God.
Indoor toilets are fine when they're like making the house.
yeah.
He
Oh, when they're
shuts his door,
doing their
like,
renovations.
and then he says, "Let's build you to a time machine. Welcome to the time machine." Oh no, well then that's when she's in the 18. But that's how it goes into the 1855. It says, "Let's build you to a time machine."
Oh, the guy's being like
Welcome
as a
to the
joke
time
is being
machine.
like,
Yeah,
oh, let's
yeah.
build you guys a
Yes,
time
yes.
machine.
So
Like,
I
it'll
just
look
was-
old.
Little
It'll
does
look
he
of
know
the
they're
time.
actually building a time
Yeah,
machine.
and that's
right.
kind of where
There
I
we
was
go.
like,
so like it could also be her just starting a chapter of like, welcome to the time machine.
No, that's how
Yeah.
she's starting it. But
Yeah.
but the beginning part obviously is not exactly what happened. But I'm wondering if it has anything
Totally.
to do with that, because
It probably
I have
does.
been sitting here keeping quiet, going, I must have missed something this whole thing.
Literally saying
Yeah.
that. I was like, wow, I really fucked up. Like, I don't even know the reason she's
No, we
there.
don't know. We don't know.
No, we don't know yet. We don't know
Okay,
yet.
no,
No,
we
we
have
don't know at all.
We have no
Okay,
clue.
cool.
And to be honest, when I went into this one, I was like, the fact that there is just that slight similarity of a woman waking up and not knowing who everybody is around them, and after we just read My Husband's Wife and her just like
Yeah.
like nobody knowing who she is and like who her life and all these things, it's like what time machine, space travel, whatever the fuck happened. That I'm just like, we'll find out. Like
Yeah, we'll find
I
out.
don't even.
feel the
I don't
same.
think I even have a working theory right now.
I
because
can't
we-
make all these crazy
We can't
guesses.
go
we
way
were-
back into the mix.
No, you know, we
No.
were so wrong last time.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
was like,
But I honestly
Just
rather
see what happens.
not even have a theory for this. I'm just
Yeah.
excited to see
Yeah,
what
just
happens.
see what
So.
happens.
Right.
Because I really don't know. Like, I can't make a logical guess right now. My only guess is like, yeah, it's like I don't know, God's inner working.
Right,
but
it's
I
like
think
some
the
sort
whole
of
point of the
1800s
book is
Hunger
to
Games
kinda-
situation.
It's the kind of show, right? It's
Yeah.
up to you more so than
Yeah.
anything else. I wonder if it's if it's going to be a typical Dorothy wakes up from Oz type
Right,
situation, because
right,
it does
right.
kind of feel
like, is she hit her head or
Ozian.
something?
I kind of
You know?
want her
Yeah.
to never go back.
Just be
You
stuck.
know what I think
Yeah.
that she's going to come back. Though I will make one prediction. I think she'll come back like better than ever at making all the shit that she used to make. Like, remember when there's the moment where they're like, make us some bread, and she's like, oh, there's this really good
Yeah,
sourdough
yeah.
starter and whatever, and she's like finally feeling like, oh, this is familiar, and then the bread totally
Yeah.
sucks. I feel like she will
She'd have a
perfect all of these
perfectly,
things.
probably no perfectly unified oven temperature.
Definitely,
you know,
Yeah,
like-
definitely not.
But it's like she'll perfect, I think, all of these tasks, chores, whatever it is that she is presenting in the real world, future, whatever it is,
Yeah.
to her followers. Now she's gonna have to like master all of these things. And I think when the world turns back right again, if it ever does, or if maybe she has the choice to stay
Right.
in one or the other. I feel like that happens in time travel movies, but she, I would think, would either come back and capitalize on it if she is who I think she is.
Yeah.
And be
Yeah.
like, now I'm really the best at what I do.
Right.
Or she'll come back and be like, switch up the brand and be like, this is how difficult it actually is. Trust me. Like, if you don't have the stomach for this, you can't do this. And
Yeah.
how
I
will
just
turn it
feel
into
like
like a
she's
a
there's
how
not gonna be a
to
redemption
versus
for
a-
her.
Yeah, I don't see any
foresee
redemption,
any redemption
for her.
for
Like, I
her.
feel like
No?
she's just so
Maybe I just want
stuck in
redemption
her
for
ways.
her.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
for sure. Because
Yeah.
like I want her to be like, no, girl, like, you know,
So bad.
everyone's life is hard. Like everyone struggles. Like it doesn't matter who you are. Like there's no perfect life that you can obtain just by being,
Yeah,
you know,
and you're-
this
now you're
perfect
showing it on
image.
social media.
But the one thing that did kind of strike me as interesting in terms of like the time travel, whatever, like how she ended up in the 1800s, Shannon was like having these dreams that
Yeah.
the ranch was like setting on fire, or like that
Yeah.
lightning was striking
Right.
on the ranch or something. That's
Yeah.
why she was this is why she left, because she was like having these nightmares.
Nightmares.
all the cows are on fire. Or
So I
something?
was
Yeah,
like,
I think like everything
I
besides
wonder-
her, it was like
Right.
everything but
Yeah.
her.
I
right?
wonder if she was having like a premonition or something. Obviously,
Honestly.
it's so out of pocket to think of that, but
Yeah.
you know, maybe the dreams are connected in some way to
Yeah.
why this happened to her.
Maybe it's like maybe it's like a Noah's Ark. I don't know the Bible well enough to know.
Yeah,
I feel like I
yeah.
got to brush
Right,
up on the
right.
Bible to find a mirrored
read the-
story.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Me too, and I
Because
went to
I'm-
Cavis.
that's
Same.
also
Yeah.
very
Right.
possible
Plague.
because she does, go back to the the Bible is her source material for
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm
what I
thinking.
mean.
There's a lot.
There's a lot
few
of quotes
passages
in there. There's a lot of
in there.
passages in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But and another thing that I loved about the writing is her constantly. I just love the character of Reena because I find her so interesting and
Same. Well, she's
she
us.
and she constantly brings up Reena, like as much as she hates her.
Yeah.
Like I think a little bit of her deep down is jealous that
I think all of her.
Reena
Yeah.
has freedom that she
Yeah.
doesn't
Totally.
have.
Absolutely.
And she'll poo-poo Reena's life as much as she
Yeah.
can
She
to make
just
herself
could
feel
never
better.
because her mom,
Yeah.
that wasn't bestowed upon her.
Yeah.
So she has to
She sees
believe
it as like,
that
oh,
that's not what
she's
she
gonna
wants, but she's
struggle
so
and-
jealous of it.
Yeah, not get the
Absolutely.
job that she wants
Yeah.
and be miserable. It's like, well,
Yeah.
girl, your husband can't get hard and you hate your life too. So
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
has their issues.
Right. And too, the stuff with Reena, like the amount of detail that she goes in, just like picking apart the life that she chose, up to the point of like she went into a field where it's primarily men and she'll only be kept down by men. And I feel like she does have this like obviously the daddy issue thing. She's got this hatred for men that's manifesting in other ways.
Yeah, but
And
she
I
doesn't
feel
even
like
realize.
I feel like she thinks like, all right, well, Reena's doing whatever. Like, she doesn't even consider maybe she's a trailblazer. Maybe she's helping out. Maybe she's, paving the way in the future. Or maybe she actually isn't doing that bad. Like, the only thing that can make her feel better about the fact that she is where she is to think that Reena's also stuck
Yeah.
doing
Right.
whatever it is that she
And
wants to do.
She stalks her on Instagram like all the
right.
time.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
saying those things because if she says them out loud, then they're true in her
Totally.
brain.
Yeah, totally.
When really they're not. But she just has to convince herself that to
Totally.
make herself feel better. So
Totally.
Absolutely. Well, I think we're obviously really enjoying this first half. We're looking forward to seeing what exactly happens. She'll have to get. I think she'll have to get out of the 1800s somehow. But
Yeah.
we'll see where that takes us.
She can take
we'll-
Maeve with her. What a sweetie.
Yeah,
Every
she's
time
Maeve
cute.
talks, I'm like,
little baby.
Yeah.
She better not die. I swear to God.
It is.
I swear to God.
Maeve gets typhus.
my God.
someone's dying.
There's
Yeah.
4 kids
Yeah.
in the 1800s.
What did they
That's
get
unheard
back then?
of.
Like the Black Plague? Like-
Probably.
Well, they keep
All of
warning
it.
about the
Typhoid?
going
What's
too
it?
far from the house and the cowboys
Yeah.
and
Oh
Indians.
yeah.
And, like,
well,
all
see,
this-
they're also
True.
just like so
What-
racist.
What do you think
God.
that's
Yeah,
all about? Do
yeah.
you think that's going to be a Cowboys Indians thing, or do you think that's going to be like a wolves
No,
thing?
I think it's just
No,
like
they're talking
I think
about like
it's just
Native
kind of
Americans.
Yeah.
as
No,
like the
for sure.
savages.
No, I know, but I
Yeah.
think it's just I don't know if it will have any actual impact besides just being used as a
like a fear
like
tactic.
a fear tactic of the time and like that of that
Yeah.
era
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, that'd be crazy if they get into like a freaking standoff with some Native Americans.
That would be so
Yeah.
nuts. Wow.
Yeah, so we'll finish this. We'll recap the whole book, the second half at the end of this month. Really looking forward to finding out what happens. Is
Yeah,
there
I might
anything?
finish
Wait,
it,
I
like-
got one more thing.
Yeah.
That you just when you said like the fight between them, this whole time they would talk about how Caleb wants to be a cowboy, he's a cowboy, blah blah
Yeah,
blah, cowboys
right.
and Indians, whole thing.
right.
Wow.
So
Just
we'll have
No.
to see.
No, there's a lot of really great parallels that
Also, one thing that
she's been able to
she was
draw.
like, "Oh, what's the horse's name?" And they're like, "We don't name the horse."
yeah, the
and I was
horse
like,
is
"Damn,
pretty
they didn't
cray.
name their animals in 1855."
yeah, they're like this is that's the horse.
the horse. Yeah. You stupid bitch.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that's- we might as well.
No, we
Right.
don't name the cow Sassafras.
I know,
Yeah, which, by the way,
Yeah.
sassafras.
Sassafras.
now.
I kind of love that name.
No, and I was like, this is just like the name you come up with as a kid. You're like,
Yeah,
totally.
totally.
It's sassafras.
Yeah, of course.
I am excited to see I'm also excited to see what happens with Mary because she takes no bullshit, and I'm
None.
like,
No,
I'm like, how
Mary
really old is she that
her.
she's yelling
Mary
at her?
is her, but she doesn't even realize it.
Yeah,
like
right.
Clementine and Mary, like are I think because they're the oldest daughter, like they,
Yeah.
have experienced this disconnect, so they know
Yeah.
that they have to kind of like step up
Right.
and
And
cover
Clementine's
it.
got a secret phone somewhere. Because
100%.
they're like,
Oh,
oh, Jones
yeah.
going whatever. She's
Oh,
doing
yeah.
something.
She asked her what a trad wife
yeah,
is.
like,
Yeah,
are you a
sure.
trad
Yeah.
wife? Like, it's
Yeah.
like, how do you know what that is?
Definitely.
So
Or
she's
one of the nannies.
They blamed it on
Yeah.
the nannies, right?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
no. She sounds smart enough
I know.
to have secret
and
shit.
talk about like already setting the precedent for how sort of like pompous she was going to be was referring to both the nannies as like Nanny Louise.
Yeah,
and
oh,
Nanny,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like neither of them, they're using
call
just their
them by
first
their
name, just
names.
nanny.
Yeah.
Nanny.
Nanny
Yeah.
first.
And when she's
Yeah.
doing she was doing like some sort of interview in the beginning or something, and she
Yeah.
like mentions like the farm hands,
Yep.
and they're like, "Oh wait, you have farm
Yeah.
hands?"
Next
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. She's
Shut
like,
up.
"Oh, suddenly I feel
They're
pregnancy
not,
brain."
They're not there every day.
Yeah.
Right. Also very interesting that she's pregnant and not pregnant in the 1800s.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
going to mean something. I don't know what, but it's going to
Yeah,
mean
that was
something.
It's scary, and I felt bad for her in that moment. She was like, I can't think about that. Because,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gotta be hard.
Yeah. Yeah,
if
no,
she wants
absolutely.
that kid. But
So
does she?
yeah, really locked into this one.
Right.
Is there anything else you guys have read or been reading?
Oh, Fame Sick. I'm
okay.
about. It's taken me forever to get through it for some reason because I keep like going to do things and like getting distracted and going back. But I'm loving it, loving it. Lena Dunham's new book, Fame Sick.
Yeah.
very, very good. Audible. It's narrated by her, so it's a good listen.
I just finished Order of the Phoenix, Harry Potter and the Order of the
nice.
Phoenix.
Yay.
So good. Wow, what an incredible book.
Way better than the movie, right?
Way better than the
crazy.
movie.
Way better.
Oh my God, do they do that movie? Do they do that book so dirty? Even better than Goblet of Fire, some way, somehow.
The same mungos of it all.
Yeah, and the Harry and Cho of it all, like the Valentine's Day date, and Harry's
Madam
just so
Puttyfoots.
fucking dumb. Oh my God,
He
He's
really
just
is a dumb idiot.
And Hermione has to explain how women work to them, which is so funny to me. Like everything, and like I can even see the connection now with Hermione and Ron way more, even in earlier books too, but way more than you ever do in the movies. And even like the inner turmoil of Harry is just so much more interesting in the
He's
book. His
so
relationship with
angsty.
he's so angsty
And it
in
makes
this book.
sense, yeah.
But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I give 5 stars on Fable.
Hell yeah.
Love it.
Nice.
Rhea?
Yeah, go ahead, Rhea.
No, I was
Yeah,
just
don't
going to
forget
say
Rhea.
that there's a couple new Frida McFadden books that
Yes,
are
I
out that I want to
heard.
read, but also the fact that she has like people have seen her face for the first time recently.
Yeah.
Right, 'cause
that
she's a
was
doctor, right?
Yeah,
Isn't
that
that the
was
whole
a big
thing?
thing
Yeah,
because
yeah.
people didn't know what she looked like. But if you had looked her up, you could.
Yeah.
She's like
find-
Hannah Montana.
And that's not her name.
And
Yeah.
it's not her name. Like
Yeah.
Frida
Yeah.
McFadden, she's come up with her whole.
It's
like,
a great
which
pen
is
name.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
pen
which
name.
is also awesome. Like
Yeah.
to just become an author as a total different name. It's
amazing.
And
Yeah.
like you have a total separate job.
I would love
But
to do that.
She has Dear Debbie, I think was the one that I really want to read. There's 2 new ones, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
read
Very
one of those.
nice.
Love.
I read the new Abby Jimenez book, The Night We Met, which left me like, I don't know, fairly unsatisfied. I went back to look
Huh.
because I've rated most of her books 4 stars, and I really like, they're very cute romance novels. They're nothing crazy, but she always makes, I think, very relatable characters that you like and you want them to be together and you're rooting for them. Great male characters. And I just think this story kind of fell a little flat for me. And I don't know if it was, I said this, like, I don't know if it was because of what we've been talking so much and it's just very topical of like sleeping with your friend's ex or like whatever it is.
right.
So it's basically like girl meets 2 guys on the same night, starts dating one of them. The other guy, the 2 guys are best friends. And
Tale as old as
slowly,
time.
slowly, like the best friend is really the one that's better for her,
Yeah.
not the boyfriend. The best friend is doing all these things like for the boyfriend under the guise of the boyfriend doing it, like
Of course.
and it just kind of drags on a little bit to the point where like, with a romance book like this, like you kind of know how it's going to end. And then you're just kind of like, all right, like the whole middle chunk is I can't like her, but I do. I can't
Yeah,
like him, but I
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And it just
the
kind of goes on.
morality struggle.
Yeah. And then it's like all the friends are mad, but then you kind of have to like tie it up in a nice way where like eventually maybe people are okay. But it just, I don't know. It just wasn't as strong for me. And I think just because that's not my, like the behind
Favorite
the
trope.
back
Yeah.
secret vibe
Yeah.
is just like
it leaves
not.
a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
Most times.
That
Yes.
is a little too topical with
It was.
with
was.
Amanda and
Yeah,
Wes.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the movie Something Borrowed.
Yes.
Yes.
And you're like, wait.
Yeah.
I don't,
what the fuck, bitch?
Like, I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm supposed to be rooting for this.
Right,
Like,
right.
Yeah,
but like
totally.
they're horrible, but like
Yeah.
you're also like, that's not nice.
Yeah,
It's a little,
it almost makes it better that it's a girl deciding between 2 boys though.
Yeah,
Like if it was a guy
always.
deciding between 2
No,
girls,
yeah,
I'd be like,
yeah.
no, fuck that guy.
Yeah,
Right.
literally electric chair. Like, what do you mean? It sounds a little, reminds me of Heart the Lover a little, which also remind me that somebody told me that the same narrator, and I haven't double checked, the
I
same
saw this.
narrator for whatever, what is
For
this?
Yesteryear, Red Heart the Lover.
Red Heart the Lover.
Oh,
and so,
interesting.
so if you didn't like the narrator for Heart the Lover,
Right.
you won't like it for Yesteryear. But I actually think it's better in Yesteryear.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even notice that it
I
was the
didn't
same.
realize that
I also read with my eyes.
Spotify has like I just saw it because I mean I don't know, Spotify probably somehow knows I'm reading this book, but like
Oh, yeah.
it came up on my homepage to listen to it, but it has a feature of like sync sync to page.
Oh yeah, Audible has that too.
I didn't realize that was something you could do
Yeah.
for audio. I don't really ever listen to audiobooks, so I
You
don't
have
know.
to do both though. So like this time around, I only got the audiobook because I was just gonna listen. Usually I get the book first, and
Yeah.
then I end up switching to audio to speed through.
Right, to finish. Yeah.
But this time I only did audio, and it doesn't like if you have both, it gives you the option to read along and listen. But if you don't get
interesting.
both, it doesn't give you the option
Yeah,
to read
yeah,
along.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I also started Airifier.
Hey!
So
Oh, great. Oh, good.
So I'm like, but just really early stages.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like she is. I'm just being introduced to Manon, and she is.
She's my favorite character.
Yeah, and. So now here's the thing.
She's headstrong. She's headstrong.
No. But like, has Selena now become like? I guess maybe it gives too much away, so I won't even ask. But I've noticed when people have said to me like, "Oh my God, like I love these books so much. Like I love, Aelin and Aelin.
Aelin, yeah.
They're like I love Aelin, like, and I'm like, oh, like at what point do we stop calling her Selena?
She's always been Aelin, though.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But like
Right,
she's
but-
Selena right now in the books. Like everything that I've read, she's
Soon.
just
I think
Selena.
soon.
She officially like switches over at
Okay,
some
okay.
point, so it's
Okay.
just Aelin.
She does, yeah. Because then
Okay.
everybody, well, you
Right,
know,
no,
it's
that's
like-
what I'm saying. I
yeah.
was like, I kind of feel like it probably is a bit of a spoiler at some point because it's like,
Yeah.
It's kind of the dumbest payout of all time. It's like, okay, finally, can we just
yeah,
stop
right,
throwing all these
exactly,
names
exactly.
around? But yes, it
but
does happen eventually.
she's like currently working in the kitchen. She's starting like that. So I'm very early in the beginning of that.
Yep. It might be soon,
But
even.
I'm gonna dive into
Working in the
that too.
kitchen.
She's
Yeah. In the castle?
yeah.
when she's
Oh,
like in
okay,
the
okay, okay.
scullery or whatever.
Yeah, when
It's
she's
like-
gotta like do
okay.
bitch work all day and then train at night or whatever.
What's her face down there?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Oh,
the girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
I need to
I'm in
reread
that
those books.
early stages of that, and I also like. I
So
think it's
good.
because we got to watch all of like the first season of Off Campus, the new Amazon show that's based on the
Oh.
book series.
I've not seen
I hadn't read the book series. So I felt bad because a lot of people have been like, "How does it relate to the book?" I'm like, I have no clue, but I really enjoyed the show. Like, I hope book lovers love the show because I do think the show was great. So
Cool.
I've already been seeing so many people on TikTok being like,
Yeah.
"It's not accurate."
yeah. That,
Christ's
well,
sake, enough
you know
already.
how it always goes.
Well, the show was
Yeah.
so good.
There's,
anyway,
exactly.
so-
Yeah.
And it's gonna
Yeah,
be it's gonna be a
I'm
blend
so
of stuff.
excited to watch. I'm
I
gonna
know.
binge it this weekend.
So
Yeah.
good.
And I
Yeah.
saw some interviews of like the showrunner kind of talking about why they had tweaked a couple things and some scenes are a little different, whatever. But anytime that happens, especially with like romance books of these sorts, the book fans like get crazy.
Yeah, they rise
But at the
up.
end of the day, it's just like you're never gonna get an
never gonna
adaptation
be
that
shot for
is
shot.
100%
No,
shot for
never,
shot the same.
never.
There's some that they'll always do right, but then there's always like other stuff mixed in. So
Well, it's never going to look exactly as you pictured in your head. They're
No.
not writing it based on what's in your head.
yeah, exactly. So I
speaking
think
of-
it's gonna be. I want to get into that book series and read that as well. So I think I'm gonna try and dive into that.
Love that. And I didn't know about any of those things. So now
It comes out.
I am-
When this is out, the show is out. So and
amazing.
it's
Okay,
bingeable. 8 episodes all coming out. It's all
nice.
coming out one day.
Oh, I can't wait.
Love.
That's wonderful. Yesteryear, isn't it being made into a movie already?
Yes.
Yes, oh my
is.
God,
With
yes.
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway.
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I did
But
see
I did
Anne.
not picture
I said
Anne
again.
I
Hathaway.
really did
either.
picture Anne Hathaway. So
Neither
we
did
just
I.
we just were
So much
talking
Dare I
to
say a little old? I hate to say that.
we were
No,
talking, just
I
talking to
agree,
Ashley
Kelly.
Hesseltine.
Well, she's supposed to
said
be
the same
like a
thing.
young wife.
feel
She's supposed to be
she's
like
like-
19.
Right.
She gets pregnant and married her first
yeah,
year
I
out of
don't see
college.
Anne
Anne
can
Hathaway
play
for
young, but
this.
can she play 19?
Well, yes, maybe they'll have a younger
Version of her?
version.
Yeah.
I don't know because obviously while she's in this stage and in the 1800 stage, she's what 30,
A little bit
Yeah,
older.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because she's had kids so young.
I know.
I don't even
we
know
save
she's
casting
30. I
always
feel
for
like
the
she
end,
might
but
be
I
a
would-
little bit younger than that.
First in my head
Yeah.
is like Zoe Deutsch would be good at this because she's like young face and
love Zoe
Deutsch and a smart ass a little.
Yeah.
That's just my.
Yeah, that's
It's
a
true.
Anne
thing.
Hathaway
but-
is starring and
Wish it would be that.
producing via her Somewhere Pictures banner. See, that's what happens now is because she has like her production company. Then
Yeah,
she's
she'll
like,
just-
I will be the star.
Yeah. I'll make the scene.
Because
Yeah.
my God, it's been like one after the other with her with these
Yeah.
For real.
popular book
She
adaptations
is
where she's
a
like, and
hot
I'll be the
commodity.
lead.
Yeah.
I wish she would be the mother-in-law. Anne
Yeah, I was
Hathaway would
thinking
be
that.
the
Maybe
pill
she
popper.
will.
Maybe
Or
she will.
Or just the mom.
The
Yeah.
mom would be good too. I would like her as the pill popper at the vineyard though. I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah,
she'd
yeah.
really,
She's
you know.
hilarious.
I
That
actually,
lady.
I actually would like that role. I'd
Yeah.
like to put my hand up.
You would like to be
the
in
pill popper
in
in
that
the
as well.
vineyard.
Yeah.
In the rich
Attached
family.
to star and produce through the film. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about her as the lead.
Amazon MGM
Does
Studios
it say
acquired the story's
specifically
rights.
she'll be the lead?
All the way back in July 20.
Yeah, it just
it
says she's
really is
starring in
crazy.
it.
Like, I feel like more than ever right now, books are being adapted
Yes,
into
totally.
movies
Totally
and TV
agree.
shows. So it's like this book just came out, and this is saying that there's been a bidding war for this book since July of 2024.
That's nuts.
So
That's
it's already
crazy.
doing. And we just got news on Fourth Wing. They had the Amazon upfronts. They
Oh.
have their Michael B. Jordan. It's happening. They're producing it.
Oh, good.
And they have their showrunner and they have their the director of the first episode. They announced.
Huge.
Oh, wow.
Huge. That's a good.
And
be a
there's
big
one guy. Here's the thing. There's one guy that I think the fans have really wanted to play,
Zayden. Yeah.
and he is in Off Campus.
Oh.
And they're like, he's been doing a lot of press for
Amazon,
Off Campus,
Amazon.
and it's Amazon. And like, he's been a little elusive with his answers on the potential
Can I say
Zayden
that?
casting.
Some people
Interesting.
thought that Miguel from Love Island was going to be
He's gonna
involved.
play what? He's gonna play.
I don't know if he's going to play
Oh
him,
my
but because
God, no.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah.
But Miguel was reading one of the books in one of the TikToks.
Oh my
And
God,
somebody
imagine.
commented like, "Oh my God, is
Miguel
Miguel
is
da da
Zayden?
da?" And then like Leah liked it.
Oh God.
Maybe he
Well,
auditioned.
Leah's probably
it's
like,
not
he's
that
my
role.
Zayden.
I'm not.
yeah.
I'm not like.
You're not
No,
casting.
I don't know which character they were even talking about.
Yeah.
That
Maybe
would
he's
be
like, maybe he'll be
hilarious.
like one of the friends.
Yeah.
Like one of
there
the
was, like-
Zayden friends.
I don't have my phone.
He could totally.
That would
I
be
feel like
so
he could be at
funny.
he could be at the school.
Maybe he's Liam.
He could be any of those people. All
Yeah.
those other people are like whatever. The big
But
two
look
are
up
all I'm
Miguel.
really worried about.
Yeah. The Fourth Wing on TikTok, and just like
Yeah,
let me
yeah,
know what comes
yeah.
up. People were
That
like,
is, I gotta.
So
double
this
check
is the
on
guy.
Miguel's
His name
face.
is Josh. Sorry, this is Josh Houston.
Yes, I've
Hot.
seen him
He's
as a
all
fan.
over
Whoa.
TikTok.
I say yes. I say
Hello,
yes.
He's
to
all
the
over
casting.
TikTok, and he is.
It needs to be him.
He's in. You're
"We're
introduced.
sure you don't want Miguel."
I don't. No offense to Miguel.
introduced
I
to
don't
him.
want
So
Miguel.
what? Well, I'm saying Miguel could be like one of
Alright.
Or
Zayden's
TikTok.
boys.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
I'm
go
gonna
to
Miguel.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Miguel. Fourth Wing.
Like Miguel
am
could
I
be.
nuts that I saw something like this? Like,
No, I bet
really,
you
I
did.
think-
I bet you did. But it's like
No,
hilarious. to
will
think.
Miguel be in Fourth Wing? And this girl made a whole video.
okay, so
That's
Yeah,
so
it's
fucking.
so
funny.
then
funny.
then I saw this correctly.
That is so insane. No, I'm sorry. I've never seen this other man in my life
because he
before.
was reading.
Josh
He was
Houston.
reading the book, which is also like it's one of maybe the most popular books in the world. So it's crazy.
It's him. It has to
That-
be
Yeah,
him.
he
Literally.
is like a perfect.
Oh, and I
that
like this
choice
girl
of
too,
Violet,
Hannah Dodd.
Dodd. She's Francesca in Bridgerton.
Oh, and Bridgerton. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this girl, Katie
So
Douglas.
he's
too.
really So he is.
Oh,
when you
wow.
watch Off Campus, you'll see he's one of the guys in Off Campus.
Well, I just
Yeah.
again saw a 30-second video of him, and it
You're
has
sold.
to be him. If it's not him, I'm disappointed.
Yeah,
Amazon.
no, I know.
The first TikTok that comes up when you look up like Miguel as Zayden, it's like, I'm not hungry for that. She's like in distress.
Okay, so
No,
people
okay,
have
I'm
been
sorry.
saying,
This
you
girl
know what?
actually made a dead ass video saying that Miguel would be a good Zayden. Like, come on.
Okay, so that's the
crazy.
character that I saw that they were talking about was Miguel as
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
People are like,
Well,
no,
I
like
feel
see him
real-
as Bodhi or Garrick. Is like, yeah.
Like, I really feel
That's what I'm
happy that I
saying,
presented
like-
this information to you guys.
That's so
That's
funny.
hilarious.
And that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like,
Zayden's supposed to be this like hot, skulking bad
yeah,
boy.
but when I
like,
looked it up, I like
with long hair.
Yeah.
I when I saw that I saw this weeks ago.
Miguel like
That's
trying to
so
be an
funny.
actor.
Miguel was an actor
he was.
already.
Oh, was he?
Remember, he was in a Love Island skit before Love Island came out on.
wow.
Oh my God, you're so right.
Miguel's an actor.
I forgot because then everyone was like, he's on for the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
he just wants to be an
Yeah.
actor.
Miguel has been trying to be an actor.
right.
Yeah,
Now we're
yeah.
back around like rooting for him to be an actor.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That is so funny. Oh my God,
well,
imagine.
we got all of our eyes closed on that too. Thank you,
Yeah.
ladies, so much. Thank you, everyone, for reading along with us. If you're not in the Fable group, make sure you download the app, join it. It's sorry, she's making such a funny face. All of us sitting on Gia. All of us sitting with Gia right now.
Auntie G.
You can join on Fable, join the group, the Same Page Book Club, get into discussions with us. I'd love to know what people's theories are for why she's in the 1800s. Let's like
Yes.
Yeah.
How'd she get
them
there?
throw them in the part 1 discussion on Fable so we can see how everybody's feeling. Follow us on Instagram at Same Page Book Club.
Yes.
And we'll
Yay.
be back the end of April. Oh nope, it's May. The end of May, the last Thursday of May. For our full recap of Yesteryear. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.